3 years. So welcome to the Glow webinar, ladies, and lovely to see you. And I'm really excited to be able to liberate some of you during our time together today. So it'll take about 30 minutes, 30 to 35 minutes, and then I will stop the recording and be able to answer some of your questions, which I know some of you have already in advance asked me some questions, which I can't wait to get to. And because this is such a personal journey, it really is that really the only way you can get your personal questions answered is by asking somebody who's an expert. And although I can't give medical advice, certainly I have found a way around virtually every symptom so far in a homeopathic way or a holistic way. So I'm really looking forward to sharing that with you. So if you can imagine what it would be like to wake up feeling happy, not so sweaty, not so glowy, having had a good night's sleep, and feeling vivacious. Remember that word, vivacious? Has that escaped you for a few years? And feeling energized and just looking forward to the day. Well, I'm hoping that I will be able to help some of you feel like that by the end of this. I've spent the last 33 years helping ladies feel good about themselves. The majority of that is through the health and fitness industry, but then also through my journey in life, I became an expert in hormones and then eventually to the menopause itself. So let me share my screen with you. And for those of you who aren't familiar with me, my name is Kate Sansum, and I have been in the fitness and wellness industry for a long time. But over the years, I've worked with many businesses as well. One particular business, I helped launch their nutritionals across Europe. And amongst part of that was I also launched what some of you now know as my PFC eating method. So I brought this together along with my good friend Mark McDonald, that some of you might know. He's a New York Times top author. He wrote the book How Having Kids Makes You Fat, and the Body Confidence book. He's a fantastic guy, international athlete, male model as well. Just by the by, he makes for a bonny photo, it has to be said. But yes, him and I went on stages all across Europe. There's this particular one here in Amsterdam. I was showing my before and after photos at that time, because I too had struggled with getting rid of the baby weight after the twins. So if you have twins at the age of 43, I thought I'd just bounce back into shape like I did with Theo 7 years previous to that, but it didn't quite work that way. And it was only when I found this eating method that I was able to really get my body confidence back and lose the extra pounds that I'd put on and the bit around the middle. And also at that point, I was easing into perimenopause, but didn't even realize it at that point. So yes, so when I got up on the stage in Amsterdam and I was recounting my story and explaining about the proteins, fats and carbohydrates and the method of eating that I used, and they put up the befores and afters on the screen behind me. And this stage was huge. It was probably about 20 meters wide, and my picture went up behind me, probably about 10 meters high, and my belly button, I kid you not, must have been the size of a basketball. The way it was blown up behind me, it was, and there's nothing more off-putting. I thought I knew what I was going to say while holding that microphone until I looked round and saw my belly button that size right behind my head. And then it put me right off my stop in front of about 8,500 people. So I swore after that point, I never looked behind me again if they were ever showing my befores and afters. And so that's just some of the journey that I've had on stages across the world. But also, some of you may know of the free what have I done? Challenges that I've done on my page over the last 4 years. I've helped inspire people get their New Year's resolutions off to a good start, and I've helped. So generally, what I'm known for doing is getting people to throw away the scales and to use a piece of string around their waist as their measuring point instead. Now, scales no longer serve us. Over the age of 45, they definitely do not serve us, but I'm not going to get into that right now. But that's why when you see people saying that they've lost an inch and a half and these sorts of things, generally that's over the first week or couple of weeks, I'm pleased to say, because the methods that I teach really do work. And then sometimes I do other courses, and this particular one that lovely Nicola came on was a feel good fortnight where we dived right into, I like to get into the psychology of where you are, so that we've spent a lot of years, haven't we ladies, building up habits. Some of those habits you have serve you really, really well. Others are really rubbish, and that is why you keep self-sabotaging yourself and returning back to those old habits. But sometimes we need help to be able to break those habits. One of those being, I've also been involved in a specialist panelist and one of the experts within an organization called 1 Year No Beer. And these guys are fabulous at putting out 28-day challenges. Some of you might have seen, I went on one during lockdown because I was aware that I was just looking forward to wine o'clock a little bit too much. And so I did their 28-day challenge. And it was a life changer for me. It really, really was. I'd not gone that long without having a drink since, I can say, hey, somebody's not on mute. Please, could you mute yourself? Sorry, there we go. Yes, and so, yeah, the effects that it has, especially in the menopause, the alcohol is just extreme. So yeah, that's just giving you a little bit of background on me and who the heck am I to be giving you advice. Well, basically, if you come on a journey with me, I can guarantee that if you do as I say, it will work and we will get you results. Whether that's coming on one of my free challenges or whether that's doing the one-to-one coaching, which I do with ladies as well. And that's the absolute life changer that I do with people, where they come on a 3-month journey with me, and sometimes they start the journey thinking it's about weight loss, but then in the end they generally say to me that they feel lighter in every way, inside and out, which is lovely, lovely when I hear that. So what is this glow method that I've come across, and how is it going to help you with your menopausal symptoms? Well, let me show you my nice little, now is that showing in the middle of the screen? Can everybody see that? Can you give me a thumbs up if you can see that? Yeah, that's great. Okay, so this is about holistic management of the menopause. So your symptoms, whether it is the night sweats, whether it's the burny tongue, whether it's the joints aching, whether it's the vertigo, whether it is the anxiety, raised anxiety, if it is being a bit of a Jekyll and Hyde, is that maybe a nice way of putting it? Whether it's the lowered libido, like what libido? All of these things can creep up on us. All of these symptoms can creep up on us. And so what I wanted to do was try and explain and discuss with you the fact that these are all linked to your mind, body and soul. And what happens is, as your estrogen levels start to decrease, which is completely natural, and then they go up and then they go down and then they go up and then they go down, once you're aware of it, you need to have a holistic approach so that you can really get your varavoom back, and you can really start to own your body again. So give me in the chat or the comments, you can maybe find the chat button at the bottom there. Give me a yes if you feel that you have lost any, or you have some of the symptoms that I've just talked about there. The loss of libido, the anxiety, do you feel a different person to 5 years ago? give me a yes if that's the way you feel. And if there's a particular symptom that you're suffering with, please put it in the chat there. And if I don't get to you here, I will reach out to you later and I'll give you a way of doing that. And also, while I think about it, in the chat here, I'm going to give you the link. I've given you the link right there, right now, for those of you that are quick off the mark, where you can book a call with me, a 15-minute call where I can try and see how I can help you. So if you think that's going to be of value for you before the end of the call, then just go to that link and get it booked. Because as I wind down to it for Christmas, I'm not going to be doing so many of those calls, and that's just a free call for us to get to know each other. So my glow method, what's it all about? First of all, gratitude for your body and the journey that you've been on together. If you think of all the ways in which your body has actually been there for you, showed up for you, the fact that you're still here, you're in the right place where you want to make a difference, you're in the right place where you know you need to change, you are taking responsibility for trying to do whatever you can to change, is just wonderful. But we also need to appreciate what your body is going through. So as you can all see on this slide here, I just want to explain this journey that you and your body are going on. So you started off life as young female, and then your estrogen levels started to go up, and you went through the puberty. Now, if I just said, if society really fizzes me off sometimes, girls, it really does. And one of the ways it fizzes me off is the fact that you would not think twice about speaking to your teenage girl about puberty, how it's going to affect her, what is going to happen, when it's vaguely going to happen, and the things that you can do to manage it. So why, when we get to the other end of estrogen levels going down, do we not have the same level of support? Every doctor knows how to support a young female going through puberty. They do a lot more training on it. Do you know your average GP has 1 day of training throughout their whole training on the menopause? So it's no wonder that they can't always give you the best possible advice, but it really frustrates me that they don't get more training in this, considering every single female goes through the menopause. Okay, 80% might not show any symptoms, but everybody goes through it. It's a completely natural thing. So you know how you felt when you were going through puberty and you had the anxiety, but of a different type then. We didn't call it anxiety then, did we? It was, you were stressy, you were moody, you were everything else. But don't you think it was kind of a similar kind of thing that you were going through? You put on weight, your boobs got sore. That's and again, boobs being sore. Why does nobody speak about that in the menopause? That's one of the most frustrating ones that so many people I find do not talk about. And it's one that is so easy to, if you're unsure about perimenopausal, menopausal. So the perimenopausal means that your estrogen levels are going up and down. This can be on a daily basis. This is why, I mean, here in our doctor's surgery, they won't even do a blood test for you, because they realize that if they do it on the wrong day, it's not even going to show that you are menopausal. So that is why you can get back a negative report as far as the doctor's concerned, and they say, no, your estrogen levels are still fine. Well, that's because they got you on a good day. Try and get you 24 hours later when you are stressed up the yin yang because your cortisol levels are all over the place, and it just wouldn't be the same thing. So yeah, as your estrogen levels are dropping, your periods will stop. So when your periods have stopped for 12 months, that is you officially the menopause. Now, then they don't actually tell you, so when are you not menopausal? When have you come through the other side of menopause? I still think that that's a really wishy-washy thing. I think all it is that if you look at this diagram here, you've gone through the menopause and then things settle down. Now, it can take some people 6 years. It can take some people 10 years. lucky people, it can be 2 years, but then it can flare up again at various points. So I think the biggest thing for me on this is that you appreciate what your body is going through, and that you're in it together, and that if you get stressed at your own body, that is not going to serve you well. What you need to do right now is appreciate what your body is going through, and with your mind, learn to have some gratitude about how well it is coping with what is going on in your body. So there's certain methods. I help clients with this in very many methods, but there's one that I can share with you right now. And when was the last time you took time to say to yourself, well done, you coped really well with today? Has anybody done that recently? No, not done it recently, not done it ever. Looked at yourself and gone, I really like you, you're doing a great job. No. Is that not happening either? No. Well, that has a compound effect. If you wake up going, oh, why do I feel like this again? Why? It's more sweat, no sleep. Oh God, I hate what is going on with me right now. That is a very quick downward spiral for your mental health, for your confidence, for your body confidence, for the actual choices that you're going to make in that day are going to be very different. Are you likely to want to be asked to go out for a walk, to exercise, to eat healthily, to be organized? No, you're not. I think so. I would like you to, first thing in the morning, whether you're woken up by alarm, whether you're not woken up by alarm, first thing in the morning, before you get out of bed, I want you to promise me, if you take nothing else from tonight, that you will, you ready for this? Cross your arms over your body right now. If you're watching this now, I can see you. If you're watching it on catch up, I'm just going to have to trust you are doing this. Put your arms around you and close your eyes as though you were lay in bed first thing in the morning. And what I want you to do every morning is just close your eyes for 2 seconds without going back to sleep. Breathe and have gratitude for your body. Feel your heartbeat, feel your breath, give yourself a hug and say, I've got you. I am going to look after you today. Now open your eyes, release yourself. And you can take up to 30 seconds, a minute doing that. But if every morning you start off by having gratitude for what you've got, gratitude for the body that you've got, what you've been through together, and then make yourself a little promise that that day you're going to look after that beautiful body of yours a little bit better. So that moves us on to, that's the G of the glow, the L, the love yourself. I don't know, but if you are watching this and you are like 90% of the ladies that I did get the pleasure of looking after and coaching and helping in whatever way I can, they certainly do not love themselves right now. They pull themselves apart. They are the biggest self-critic. When left alone in their own minds, they do nothing but criticize themselves. Why did I do that again? Why did I eat that bar of chocolate? Why did I get on the scales? Why didn't I go to my keep fit class? Why didn't I do that? Why did I say this? Why did I forget that? What did I look like? Can anybody relate to that? Yes, yes, I think the majority of people can. And so part of the process of learning to love yourself again, learning to get back to when you had your spring in your step, is to also appreciate how the relationships in your life have changed. So if you think about it, think about, let's choose the relationship with your parents, if you're lucky enough to still have your parents with you. If you don't have your parents with you anymore, some of us have a relationship around grief when it comes to thinking about our parents. Other people have a relationship where the parent and child relationship has changed because they now need you more than ever. And they aren't always very good at saying that they need you. They aren't always very good at showing appreciation for when you help them, because we've got this parent-child struggle going on there. So your relationship with them has changed. And some people fall through life without actually giving that the credence that it needs, and actually giving it the space that it needs and the appreciation that it needs. That your vocabulary and how you speak to your parents needs to change. If you're in grief, you need to see that you're in grief. You need to give that some space. And then your relationship with your children has generally changed. Your children don't need you as much physically, emotionally. They always need you. If they've left home, they've gone to university, they've just left home in general, your relationship with them has changed. And relationships with friends changes at this time, and it's especially changed after COVID. So if you can, it's no wonder that you are left bemused to what the hell is going on with you and your understanding of the people around you. Because if you don't understand that your relationship with everybody else has changed, then all you'll end up doing is beating yourself up and wondering why is my mum speaking to me like that? Why is my dad speaking to me like that? Why don't they appreciate what I'm doing for them? Unless you can have a conversation around that with them, or you just appreciate it. Wait a minute, this relationship has changed. They now need me more than I need them. I know my mum, God bless her, when she was here, I nursed her through 3 hip operations. She didn't say thank you one single time. I was going up visiting her for 3 months every day in hospital with twins in a buggy. Did she ever say, I really appreciate what you've gone through to even get out the door, let alone get that double buggy up in that lift? No, she didn't. But I eventually realized that, didn't look for her appreciation, and if it ever came, I just saw it as a bonus. Tell you girls, that is a game changer. If you have no expectations of the people around you showing appreciation, you stop being pissed off when they don't show it. And then the final relationship, you and your partner. Some relationships break down and change so much that marriages split up at this time of life. There's no coincidence in that. I don't understand why people have a shock around that, and it's completely understandable, because if you, through the course of your life together, have not had a certain level of communication, and now suddenly in your partner's eyes you have changed into a beast that you don't know what you're going through, so how are they supposed to know what you're going through? And you can't explain what you're going through without bursting into tears or wanting to smack them around the face with a sort of saucepan. And they want to, they love you as much as they always have done. They just have no idea how to help you. And generally, we have no idea how they can help us either. But we reserve the right to be pissed off if they don't try and do something. Does that make sense? Ring true with anybody? And so you owe it to you owe it to them to try and find out what is going on in your body. What triggers certain aspects of you to react the way you do. And I can guarantee that a lot of it can be helped through your exercise regime. I know you're not going to want to hear this because nobody's got time for any of this bullshit-lacky, but it is the most important bullshit-lacky of your life, and it's the most important time of life that you need to be taking care of you. And so with your exercise, your nutrition, your supplements, you're taking time for you. It's your time. You've got to do this. This is not optional. If you want to come through this with gratitude, with self-love, with self-confidence, some of these things are absolutely essential, but they can very, very simply be done. So that's the learning to love yourself and your life and the relationships that you're in. So we've got the gratitude and the learning to love yourself. Now the organize, the O is for organizing your thoughts. Organize our thoughts. Generally, you can't remember what your last thought was, never, let alone where your next one's coming from. And then it goes in like Winnie the Pooh, you know, when Winnie the Pooh does with the bees, and it goes in and then it's gone again. And you're left going, I really needed to remember something. I didn't get to write it down and it's gone already. That's can you relate to that? The brain fog, the having to write everything down in the worst possible everything. You can forget where you're going, forget where you come from, let alone an appointment, and you've got alarms going off left, right and centre. You can't even remember what they were for. Organising your thoughts is one thing. Organising your day has never been more important. So I talked about organising your day first thing in the morning. There's just a few key anchors in your day that if you can do these, ladies, I can promise you it will help you feel more secure in yourself, not like you're just falling through each day, then landing knackered in bed in a hot, sweaty heap, feeling nothing but self-loathing and wondering how the heck you're going to get through the next day. I don't want that for you. I don't want that for you anymore. So remember back to when your most organized points. If you've ever had children, remember back to when you had 2 children under the age of 5, 1 child under the age of 1.5. How organized did you have to be? That's how organized you need to be now, but for you. You need to be organized in the supplements that you're taking, the right ones for you, which I can help give advice for that, or book a call with me. We will sort out what supplements you need to help minimize the symptoms, to help your sleep, to help your brain fog, the omega-3s, the chia seeds, the maca powder for your varavum. There's all sorts of ones out there, and you can find a concoction that will work for you. At minimal, you should be taking or trying, if you haven't already, I'm going to put it in the chat here, MENOPACE, Menopause. If nothing else, try, if you've not tried a supplement yet and you feel the brain fog and you feel other things and the anxiety, the menopause can really help balance you. So you need to be organized in so much that you need to be going for at least 1 10-minute walk a day. You start off with gratitude. I'm going to look after myself better today. And you know when you can start this, girls? Now, today, tonight. Do not go to bed tonight without promising me that you will have a plan for tomorrow in some way in which you are going to help yourself get through this time of life. And one way is to organize yourself like your life depends on it, because it literally could. You've got to get organized. Find a place to go for walks. I know we've not got enough time in the day, but you sacrifice a bit of telly, sacrifice a bit of something. Tell somebody else to pick up the kids from school. Don't do granny duties, or walk to your granny duties if you're on granny duty. Just find a way of doing 10 minutes exercise. If you can, 20 minutes exercise. Those of you that are in Kate's Club, you know that's the perfect low impact 20 minutes. We get it done 5 days a week, and then you can do what you want at the weekends. But getting organized is absolutely crucial. Finally, we're looking at releasing the W. So we've got the gratitude, the love yourself, the organizing your thoughts, which is also organizing your whole regime to cope with the changes, making sure you have a bath, making sure that you relax, these kinds of things, meditations. Go to YouTube, look for meditations, that sort of thing. And then all of this for the W is releasing your inner Wonder Woman for the next stage of life. Once you come through, let me show you again, once you come through this bit of annoyingness, sweatiness that will come to an end, there is a light at the end of the tunnel, after which you're going to have none of that monthly stuff going on. You're going to have, your moods are going to be straight, and you're going to be so much wiser, more level-headed. And now it's time for you. The kids need you less. Your parents might need you a lot for a while, and then they're going to need you less. And it's your time to shine, ladies. It's your time to get your inner confidence back. You don't need to please anybody. It's not like you're attracting the perfect mate where when you're younger days and you're trying to adapt and mold. You know who you are right now. You know what makes you laugh. You know the food you like. You know the kind of people you like, the kind of places you like to go, the kind of things you like to do, and you should be filling your day with lots of it. And if you're not, sort it out, because this is no rehearsal. It's really, really important that you take charge of your life. If you're not happy with the partner, now's the time to ditch him. I know that sounds brutal, and I know I can help with that. Message me if that hits a chord. If you know that you're in a job that is toxic, just today I had a lovely lady, Annie, shared that she's changed her job and feels so happy again. Another one of my coaching clients, I helped her get her promotion, change the environment she was in, changed her mental health, changed her physical health completely with it. Now is a good time to change. It really is, and get the confidence to do it. And you've got nobody to please but yourself. Dress how you want. I've gone for bright recently. I've gone for bright and floaty, and because I got sick of going into lycra and other things because I felt like I needed to look a certain way, and then actually I like being bright and floaty. And this is only a revelation in the last 12 months that I like being bright and floaty. So that's what I'm going to be. And you're just going to have to use your imagination, unless you're in Kate's Club, that I am what I say I am underneath it. And I don't care. So now is the time where you can say, no, I'm not doing that. I don't want to do that. Now is the time that you can say to your friends, you know how we've been doing that for years? Why don't we change it up and go do this instead? Really take control, get the spring back in your step, get that confidence going, and get your energy back for that next stage of life. Now, that is the GLOW method of the holistic management of it, without diving into the actual individual symptoms, of which hopefully you will have seen my Managing the Menopause course, where I dive into all of the main symptoms. If you haven't, reach out to me via email, and I can send you some of the links for those. Let me know what your symptoms are. And if in doubt, again, let me go stop sharing now and go to the chat there, and here we go. I've shared that link again for you that came in later on in the call. And the link that I've just put in there is for you to make a 15-minute call with me, for me to be able to give you some tips that you can take away with and start utilizing straight away when it comes to symptoms, and others that some of you might want more help, and I can explain to you how I can help with whether it's a challenge, let you know when the next challenges are coming up, the free ones, whether it's Kate's Club because you want to drop a dress size, or whether it's that one-to-one mentoring that I do for ladies, which is an absolute life changer. So there we go, ladies. That is the GLOW method. I'm going to stop the recording now so that I can take three questions and give you some solutions right here and now on the call. I'm so happy and I feel so blessed to have been given the skill set that I have and the passage through life that I've had that enables me to be able to give you not just the health and the wellness, but with the menopause and the hormonal slant to it as well, which I've built up over the years, which has made me the master of the menopause. Yes, well, we all get, had you told me my title in life at the age of 53, when I was doing my management courses and everything was going to be that I would be master of the menopause, I wouldn't have believed you, but there we go. So thank you so much for watching this. Don't go anywhere if you are live on this particular call. I am going to stop the recording right now so that I can help you.